contributors Sonny Bass and Mason Rudd. It includes 6 indoor and 6 outdoor courts and has made 2 tennis coaches quite happy.
In 1980, we were told we'd have a tennis center in 1982. In 1985, we were told we had a tennis center in 1988, and so on. So for the better part of 3 years, I've been here 10 years, and for the better part of 3 years, we've really had a viable committee with Mr. Bass and Mr. Rudd in charge of saying they're real action-oriented people and simply went about doing the things you have to do to get something like this to come to fruition.
Does this put pressure on you as a recruiter?
I think it does. I think it puts pressure on any coach when they give them a $3 million facility and you're expected to win when people drop cash like that. And that's the kind of pressure I enjoy.
Well, pressure in the baseball playoffs tonight as they open up the American League Series in Chicago between the White Sox and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays had an early 2-0.
And it's paying off, not just with wins, but with experience. And that experience should pay off big time in the future with such young teams. Tom Lane reports.
The women's tennis team returned everyone from last year's stellar squad, but a couple of key injuries contributed to several early losses. Junior Mary Pearson has been out all fall with wrist injuries, and a bad ankle kept freshman Karen Majeski out of the lineup until recently. But the Cards have bounced back from 3 early defeats to win their last 4 dual matches. Newcomers like Allison Cooper have been forced to contribute right away.
It's a lot different than high school. It's a lot more work in college, but I like it a lot. I don't mind the work at all. It's all worth it, I think.
Has it been tougher or easier than you thought it might be?
It's been a little bit tougher than I thought it would be. I was so scared in my first match. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't played anything like this before, but it just comes with experience. Get a lot better.
We got off to a slow start. We lost our first 3 matches, and everyone was a little disappointed, but we've had some key injuries this season, and that's something we hadn't had for a while, and it really hurt us a little. We've done, well, considering all the circumstances, I think, and in the spring, we'll just be even better, because we should have everybody back.
The Lady Cards wrap up the fall semester next weekend with a big Louisville Invitational tournament.
This year we have 10 teams participating, all the way from Eastern Illinois, Cleveland State, up northern Ohio, Middle Tennessee, Cincinnati, and several schools inside our state. So it should be very well attended. We'll blanket all these courts. We'll blanket the courts at Central Park, and people are more than welcome to come out and watch them play. It is nonstop hilarity from 8 in the morning until you can't see anymore on both Saturday and Sunday. So we hope the public comes out and watches us play.
Like the women, the men's team is very young. Just 1 senior and 1 junior. The rest freshmen or sophomores. And also like the women, the men are having a solid fall campaign.
I had my doubts, reason being we lost 80% of our starters in singles and doubles, and most of my returners were freshmen and sophomores. So I thought several people's got to step it up, and I think they really have.
Ikarma and assistant coach Mark Beckham have fewer players this year, and that was by design.
We had 11 players on average the last 3 years, and that was just really too much. I mean, usually we only bring 7 or 8 on a traveling team, and it was hard for me as a coach to tell 2 or 3 players you can't go again, even though they've been given 110%. Also, with Mark and I, with just 7 or 8 players, which we have 7 right now, we could give a lot more hands-on attention, a lot more coaching and player development to each player. So, I mean, it works well, traveling, and builds a lot of cohesiveness because everyone feels like they have a part of the team.
I like the whole team being together. It's a lot more united this year than it was last year. Last year we had to leave some players home when we traveled, and injuries, whatnot. But this year I think everybody's real close. It helps us on the court.
As always, U of L is playing many of the nation's top teams, which this young squad seems to like.
Gives us a chance to move up. If we don't play those teams, we can't move up. So we got to do our best, and we're not scared of them. We're going to go out and do our best, see what happens.
If you play a weak schedule, you're not going to improve. If you play the best, you have no choice but to improve. So we look at it as a challenge.
Do you always yell that much on the court, or is that for the camera?
I'm usually pretty loud. See, I'm a small guy, so I got to...
Really like to be in the spotlight. Life on MTV's The Real World with Owensboro's John Brennan. Then looking forward...
Hospital to try try and make some youngsters just a little bit happier this Christmas season.
I hope to do it next year because it was a lot of fun, and it was nice to see kids who, you know, wanted to get a present and were down, and hopefully we brought them up for the day.
I think it's always good to be able to come out and help out anybody that's less fortunate than we are right now, especially at this time of the year with it being Christmas. And it's always good to see somebody that maybe you look up to, and hopefully we're those people. And I just hope that we can, you know, spread some cheer to these people at this time of the year, so it's nice.
We all know that it's a rough time for them, especially being in a hospital this time of year is hard for the families and for them, so we just want to come down and really try to make everyone feel good.
We're athletes here at the University of Louisville, and as you know, that may not mean much to us or to our peers, but these little kids, they really look up to us, and you know, hopefully we've made a difference, you know, giving them a little better outlook on this Christmas season.
Merry Christmas.
Smile on some young faces.
Did you make that tree on yourself? You did. That's pretty.
It's part of the Cardinals' Standing Tall program. The U of L athletes are stepping out in the community to lend a hand and, in this case, offer support to these youngsters who are hospitalized during the holiday season. U of L senior Leslie Melbauer spearheaded the activity.
It's a great feeling to know that in some way you brightened up their day and made them, you know, brought a smile to their face, and it's fun talking to them and helping them out.
You ready for Christmas? Yeah.
The tennis team gave the youngsters Cardinal Standing Tall posters and U of L stickers. But more importantly, they gave themselves. Just help break up the routine of another day in the hospital. Elizabeth Sanders is the child life specialist for the hospital.
I look mean, don't I? They're trying to...
It's wonderful. It breaks up their day of having people come in and do medical procedures or take vital signs or whatever, and it gives them something lighthearted to look forward to. And they leave a little gift for the children, and they always enjoy stickers and posters and things.
And sports is a big thing, too, with kids, isn't it?
Oh, yes, especially the teenagers. The teenagers love sports figures to come in. It's a big role model for them. Gives them the moral support to keep going. A lot of these sports teams are wonderful about saying, you know, we hope you get up and get going. We want you to come see us. You know, keep up the good sports, keep up the good morale, you know, that kind of thing. So it's really wonderful for the teenagers especially.
Are you all on the tennis team?
Yep. Yeah.
We're all on tennis.
How'd y'all do this year?
Good. 8-2.
It's incredible to walk into a child who's been in pain or has been upset about something, and the minute they walk in, there's a big smile. It's wonderful.
Next on the sports page, we'll talk with the latest addition to the Cardinals basketball team. Stay with us. Allow me to introduce Allison Cooper. A sophomore on the U of L tennis squad, Allison hails from a tennis family. Her dad is local tennis pro Chuck Cooper, but Allison said she didn't begin playing competitive tennis until her high school days at Assumption.
Played tennis all my life, but never like tournaments and competitive until I was in high school, and I just really enjoyed it, and I did well, so I thought I would play in college.
So you enrolled at U of L and then walked on to play tennis, is that correct?
Yeah.
Like most of the athletes we talk with, time, or actually managing time, is the #1 concern in adapting to college life.
It's a lot about balancing your time and making sure you have enough time to study and then practice and making sure it all evens out, especially like on weekends when you go out of town and you have a test on Monday. You have to work it in somehow that you're going to study for your test. So a lot of times I kind of feel like I'm being rushed, like when I'm out here playing tennis and I know I have schoolwork to do, and I feel like it's all going to come together one time.
But Allison has handled the balancing act very well so far. On the court, she sees good things coming for this year's team.
We're having a great year so far. We finished the fall semester, we were 8-2, and we just started last weekend with our first match, and we finished 4th out of 8 teams in Davidson, North Carolina, so we did well. I played with Jenny Rushka, another freshman, and we were 4-0 last weekend.
You had to be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I was very pleased.
Allison is pointing toward a career in teaching. Her major is elementary education.
I'd like to teach 1st through 3rd grade somewhere. I like young kids. I like working with kids, and I think I'm good around kids, and I can communicate with them, so I think I can help.
Do you ever teach them tennis?
Yeah, I have all last summer. That's what I did.
Oh, that must be fun to work with.
It was fun. I liked it a lot.
Congratulations, Allison, on being named the Student Athlete of the Week. Coming up on the sports page, Danielle Macklin is wearing an executive uniform this season, but he's looking forward